It's a beautiful sight right here for me. Everybody, this is Pastor Jay. I'm down here at the Blackwater Forest here on my land. And I'm surrounded by nothing but trees and wilderness and animal life and the Spirit of God. You know, the Bible says in the book of Psalms 42, as the deer pants at the water brook, so pants my soul for you, O Lord. As David talked about a longing that he had for his relationship with God, a deep spiritual longing that was like a deer that was out of breath and that needed refreshed and renewed and restored on the inside. And this is what God does for us as believers. I hope everybody is doing good and doing well. I know we're all getting a little bit stir crazy and you need to be renewed and restored, and I miss seeing everybody at the church and standing in the pulpit and preaching these messages like this. But I want you to be encouraged that God is in control and that He restores our soul, and He'll restore this whole situation, and the church will come out of this triumphantly. But in this place of peace where I'm standing at, I'm reminded of the hand of God in everything that I look at. This is a place that I like to come, a place that I like to pray. I'm going to show you around here in just a minute. I'm going to give you kind of a view of this place. As I'm looking, there are just acres and acres of cliffs, and I just seen some birds, some gigantic birds up here. I believe they might be hawks up here right above me, over here circling back behind us. One's coming right here above us. It's gorgeous. What a beautiful sight. But the hand of God is in everything. And I hear His voice speak to my soul in these places like this. And to stand here and listen to the quietness of the Lord, it is good for your soul. And so as David spent a lot of time in the wilderness, so do I. I love this place. And I understand what a wilderness place can be like for a believer. It's a place of solitude, a place where you can find rest. And I often think of how the rest and peace of the Lord comes into my soul when I'm communing with Him, when I'm longing for Him. Question is do you long for God in that way? Is that in your soul and in your nature, to long for the Lord like that? You'll find Him in places like this. I'm reminded of it every time I come down here and look around and look at the trees and the cliffs back here in this wood line that's around me. But I want to tell everyone that God's going to restore this situation. The church is going to be okay. You're going to be okay. God is going to make everything okay. David, who, like I said, spent a lot of time in the wilderness, had to depend on God. Out here, as you look around behind me, there is no stores, no place to get anything. This is a place where you have to depend on God for everything you have need of. When I pan this camera around, you're going to see an old cabin. That old cabin is made of wood, chestnut actually, that's been extinct for a long time. There was a log cabin that sat there in its place until this very river right here flooded and washed that cabin down many, many years ago. And the folks back then, there was a sawmill that sat right here on this creek right here by us. You can still see the lumber that lays across the creek where the water would come and activate the saw and would run the wheel. And they sawed that lumber up, and that lumber is probably 200 years old or better that's in that house right there. But there was a people that lived here, and God gave them everything they had need of right here in this kind of setting. My ancestors lived here. They lived in these cliffs, and they got food from the river and from the fields and from the deer, from the birds, from the turkeys, from the elk that used to be in here. God provides. I love to come to this place. The favorite place on earth for me is my land, where I can hear the voice of God telling me everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. That God provides the refreshment as David penned in the book of Psalms 42:1 with the deer and the water brook. That when that deer drank that water, it refreshed it temporarily, but we drink of the living water to where we'll never thirst again. And that's the river of life. And God provides everything that we have need of. And it just reminds me of that whenever I come down here. And I wanted to share this with the church and show you this wonderful place. How I'd love to have a congregation of people here to preach to. But I like to come out here and visit with the animals and the trees and listen to the water run here. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. I want to pan this camera around and show you this place. But I want you to know that God is here. He's with you. He's with the church. He's with everyone who calls upon His name. And He'll restore your soul. And He'll give you the water when you're thirsty. When you're in need, He will provide. And He'll give you everything that you have need of. You don't need anything else than Jesus Christ, and He'll provide everything that you have need of. I want to take a look around here and show you some things and let you enjoy this place as much as I do. So I'm going to go to the right, and we're going to look up here at the cliffs and kind of take a look here at things. Oh, how I love this place. There's the old house. All the cliffs. Back beyond them trees is humongous cliffs. It's a beautiful place. Maybe we'll do some more sermons up in there. God bless you all.